Welcome to the Expensive Coins History channel, hidden in plain sight. Found in jars, drawers, and long-forgotten piggy banks. The 1981 Lincoln penny, specifically the version without a mint mark, may appear ordinary, but beneath its coppery surface lies a fascinating story of transition, value, and rare collectible potential. Today, we dive deep into the world of the 1981 no-mint mark Lincoln cent. What makes it unique? Why are collectors willing to pay thousands for certain examples? And how much could your coin be worth in today's market? Let's find out. In 1981, America was on the edge of a coinage transition. The Lincoln Memorial penny had already been in production for over 2 decades. Introduced in 1959, this design replaced the wheatback cent, and featured the Lincoln Memorial on its reverse, a tribute to one of the nation's most iconic presidents. By 1981, these coins had become part of daily life. Billions were minted each year to keep up with circulation demands. But 1981 would mark the final full year that the penny was struck in a composition that had been consistent for over a century, 95% copper and 5% zinc. Why does this matter? Because just 1 year later, in 1982, the United States Mint would transition to a lighter and more cost-effective copper-plated zinc composition. That made 1981 the last hurrah of the original copper Lincoln cents, a fact that adds to their historical and collectible significance today. The 1981 penny was struck at 3 U.S. Mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. However, Philadelphia, responsible for billions of coins, did not use a mint mark on its circulating coins at the time. That's why pennies from Philadelphia simply appear with the year 1981 under Lincoln's bust, but no mint letter. This lack of a mint mark isn't an error, it's standard for Philadelphia strikes from that period. Yet, it creates an identifying feature that sets these coins apart from their Denver and San Francisco counterparts. In total, over 7 billion no-mint mark Lincoln cents were produced in 1981. That volume makes them common in circulation, but the story doesn't end there. The true intrigue begins when we dig deeper into condition, rarity, and error varieties. The 1981 Lincoln penny was made using the traditional bronze alloy, 95% copper and 5% zinc. Each coin weighs approximately 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. This makes the 1981 issue historically significant. It is the last full production year where all Lincoln cents, regardless of mint, were struck with this classic copper-heavy composition. In 1982, the U.S. Mint would begin transitioning to a cheaper copper-plated zinc planchet, reducing the weight of each coin to 2.5 grams. That means the 1981 penny represents the final chapter in the era of heavy bronze cents, a factor that continues to drive collector interest to this day. So, how much is a 1981 no-mint mark penny worth? In circulated condition, the average example still holds value mostly for its copper content, around 2 cents. But that's not where the real story lies. In uncirculated condition, especially when certified by professional grading companies, values can rise dramatically. Mint state coins with a grade of MS 65 or higher become much more appealing to collectors. An MS 65 1981 Lincoln penny might fetch between $1 to $5. At MS 66, that number can rise to $20 or more. Coins that reach MS 67 status, still sharp, bright, and free from blemishes, have been known to sell for upwards of $100. But it's the elusive MS 68 and MS 69 coins that take values to the extreme. These are the finest known examples, often in near-perfect condition. A single MS-68 coin can command several $1,000s at auction, especially when there are few graded at that level. Why are these so rare? Because mass-produced coins like the Lincoln cent often suffer from minor flaws, scratches, and marks right at the mint. Finding one that's flawless is like finding a needle in a haystack. Beyond condition, the 1981 penny offers a playground of mint errors and striking anomalies. These are the coins that can truly make your find worth hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars. Some of the most desirable errors include off-center strikes, double die obverse, fold-over errors, wrong planchet strikes, and clipped planchets. An off-center strike that is 50% or more off alignment can bring in hundreds, depending on eye appeal and grade. A double die variety, where the lettering or date appears duplicated or blurry due to a misaligned die, is even more coveted. In rare instances, 1981 pennies have been discovered struck on planchets intended for dimes or foreign coins. These anomalies result in wrong weight, unusual coloration, or incorrect diameter, and can command thousands of dollars on the secondary market. Even rarer are fold-over strikes, where the planchet folds during striking, resulting in a truly bizarre shape. These one-of-a-kind errors can fetch well over $1,000 at auction. As of 2025, collector interest in Lincoln cents continues to rise, especially as the penny's future in circulation remains uncertain. The rising cost of copper, along with increasing production expenses, has led to serious discussions about phasing out the 1-cent coin altogether. This fuels greater interest in older pennies, particularly those minted before 1982 when real copper was still being used. The 1981 no-mint mark penny, being one of the last of its kind, benefits from this trend. High-grade examples, unusual errors, and coins with exceptional eye appeal are in demand across online auction platforms, coin shows, and private collector groups. While most coins in circulation remain modest in value, the potential exists, especially for those willing to dig deep into their change and understand what to look for. If you're wondering whether your 1981 penny is valuable, here are some things to check. Look for coins with sharp details, no wear, and full original luster. Check for error features, doubling on letters or numbers, off-center strikes, or unusual coloration. Weigh your coin. Anything under 3.0 grams could be a rare planchet anomaly. Examine it under magnification. Even the smallest detail could mean big value. If you believe your coin is exceptional, consider having it professionally graded and slabbed. Certification can significantly increase resale potential and trust. The 1981 no-mint mark Lincoln penny may seem like just another coin, but in reality, it represents the end of an era, the beauty of precision minting, and the exciting potential for discovery. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone new to coin hunting, this humble piece of copper offers history, mystery, and maybe even a surprising payday. So next time you dig through your change, take a moment. Look closer. Because that ordinary 1981 penny might be hiding something extraordinary. The 1987 D. Lincoln Memorial 1-cent penny. Although often overlooked due to its sheer abundance, this coin holds an intriguing place in the world of modern coinage. From its rich historical background to its current market value in 2025, we'll explore why even common coins like the 1987 D penny deserve your attention. The story of the Lincoln penny begins long before 1987. Originally issued in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, this 1-cent coin replaced the Indian head design and was the first U.S. coin to bear the portrait of an actual person. The obverse side features the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, a design so enduring that it remains largely unchanged over a century later. The reverse design of the 1987 penny, however, features the Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959 to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday. The memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, replaced the earlier wheat ears reverse. This reverse showcases the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., capturing the solemn dignity of the monument that honors America's 16th president. The 1987 penny was struck at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D Mint mark located beneath the date. During this time, the United States was minting pennies in the billions to meet growing demand from circulation and coin collecting. One of the most important aspects of the 1987 D penny is its composition. This coin was produced well after the major transition in 1982 when the U.S. Mint shifted from primarily copper pennies to a copper-plated zinc composition due to rising copper prices. The 1987 D penny consists of 97.5% zinc with a thin outer layer of 2.5% copper plating. This change was intended to reduce production costs while maintaining the appearance and durability of the coin. Because of this composition, these pennies weigh approximately 2.5 grams, lighter than their mostly copper predecessors. In 1987, the Denver Mint produced approximately 4.87 billion pennies bearing the D Mint mark. This staggering mintage number places the 1987 D penny among the most common Lincoln Memorial pennies ever struck. Given this vast quantity, the vast majority of 1987 D pennies are easy to find in circulation and in uncirculated condition. However, within this abundance, rarity is determined primarily by the coin's condition, grading, and the presence of any notable errors or varieties. Most 1987 D pennies encountered in everyday transactions are heavily circulated, showing varying degrees of wear. These coins hold no significant collector value beyond their face value. The value of the 1987 D penny, like most coins, hinges greatly on its condition or grade. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state, with uncirculated coins often graded between MS 60 and MS 70. Circulated pennies with wear typically grade below MS 60 and remain worth face value. Uncirculated coins graded MS 60 to MS 63 are somewhat common and generally worth a few cents to a couple of dollars. Higher grades such as MS 65 and above become significantly scarcer. Pennies in this range are prized for their full original mint luster and absence of any damage or marks. Collectors highly seek 1987 D pennies graded MS 67 and above, especially with full red luster, as these coins are quite rare. In pristine condition, these coins command premium prices relative to their more common counterparts. In 2025, the market for 1987 D Lincoln pennies remains steady and follows the broader trends in modern coin collecting. Most circulated pennies are still only worth their face value. 1 cent uncirculated coins graded MS 60 to MS 64 can command between 5 cents and a few dollars depending on eye appeal and luster. MS 65 and MS 66 coins typically sell for between $10 and $40. High-end mint state coins graded MS 67 and MS 68 are scarce and may fetch anywhere from $50 to several $100s, especially if certified by major grading services. Exceptional examples graded MS 69 or MS 70 are extremely rare and may reach prices in the thousands of dollars, particularly if they exhibit flawless surfaces and intense red coloration. Another factor that can increase the value of a 1987 D penny is the presence of mint errors or varieties. While rare, several varieties are known among collectors. Double die varieties, especially on the obverse date or lettering, can increase a coin's value significantly. Off-center strikes and misaligned planchets are sought after by error collectors. Die cracks or cuds appearing on the coin's surface can also add interest and value. Errors affecting the motto, such as missing or partially missing letters in God We Trust, are collectible and can be worth a premium. Collectors searching for these Varieties can find some of the most lucrative opportunities in what might otherwise be an everyday coin. At first glance, the 1987 D. Lincoln penny may appear mundane and common. However, it remains an excellent entry point for beginning collectors to learn the fundamentals of numismatics, including grading, error spotting, and understanding market dynamics. Furthermore, because the U.S. Mint has signaled intentions to phase out the penny in the coming years, coins from this era may become more historically significant and valuable over time. Collecting coins like the 1987 D penny preserves a piece of American history and provides insight into economic changes that affected coin production. For those looking to add the 1987 D penny to their collections or investment portfolios, keep these key points in mind. Condition is king. Look for coins with strong red luster and minimal marks. Have potentially valuable coins professionally graded by trusted services to maximize their market value. Examine coins carefully for error varieties, which can vastly outperform standard issues. Be patient and watch the market. Values for high-grade and error pennies can fluctuate with collector interest. Consider building a collection spanning multiple grades and varieties to diversify risk and appreciation potential. The 1987 D. Lincoln Memorial Penny is a fascinating example of modern American coinage, bridging rich historical legacy with the realities of mass production and evolving collector demand. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual collector, the 1987 D penny offers a unique window into the history, artistry, and economics of American currency. 1990 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. At first glance, it might look like any other Lincoln cent, but beneath that familiar copper surface lies a story of rarity, minting anomalies, and significant collector value. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or simply curious about this piece of American history, cover everything you need to know: its history, how to identify it, why it's so rare, and what it's worth in 2025. The Lincoln cent is one of the most enduring and iconic coins in American history. First issued in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, this coin replaced the Indian head cent and quickly became a staple in everyday American commerce. Featuring a profile of Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, the coin's design remained largely unchanged from 1959 until 2008, making it a symbol of continuity in American coinage. By 1990, the Lincoln cent was firmly established as the nation's most circulated and recognizable coin, minted in multiple facilities to meet the demands of the economy. The Philadelphia Mint produced the majority of pennies each year, identifiable by the absence of a mint mark. The Denver Mint added a D mint mark, while the San Francisco Mint produced proof coins, typically marked with an S. These proof coins were struck with special dies on specially prepared planchets, intended for collectors rather than circulation. In general, the mint mark is a small letter on the obverse side of the penny that identifies where it was struck. Philadelphia pennies traditionally have no mint mark, Denver pennies carry the D, and San Francisco proof pennies bear the S. Proof coins are specially made with polished dies and planchets to create a highly reflective, mirror-like finish with frosted design elements. In 1990, the San Francisco Mint produced approximately 3.3 million proof Lincoln cents, all bearing the S mint mark. These coins are prized for their sharp detail and brilliant finish. However, a rare and unexpected anomaly occurred during the production run that year. Some proof pennies were struck without the S mint mark, making them nearly impossible to find. The 1990 no mint mark Lincoln cent is an extraordinary minting error, the result of a die that was mistakenly used without the S mint mark on the obverse. Normally, the S would be clearly visible just below the date. But in this rare case, the coin was struck on a die intended for Philadelphia pennies but with the proof planchet and mirror finish of the San Francisco Mint. This unique combination means that while the coin looks like a regular Philadelphia penny due to the lack of mint mark, it has the unmistakable proof finish, deep mirror fields and frosted devices. The blend of proof quality with no mint mark makes this coin an outlier and an exceptional find for collectors. The rarity of the 1990 no mint mark proof penny cannot be overstated. It is estimated that only about 200 of these error coins were ever released or survived after the mint discovered the mistake and tried to destroy them. Considering the millions of Lincoln cents struck annually, 200 is an infinitesimal fraction, making this one of the rarest modern U.S. coins. Collectors and numismatists treasure this rarity because it represents a genuine anomaly, an error that escaped the usual quality control processes and found its way into circulation or private collections. With such a limited number, the coin's desirability and value have soared over the decades. For collectors eager to identify this rare penny, several key features must be examined closely. First, the coin must have no mint mark under the date. While this is common for Philadelphia strikes, most Philadelphia pennies from 1990 lack proof finishes. Second and most importantly, the finish must be proof-like. This means the fields, the flat background surfaces of the coin, should be mirror-like, reflecting light clearly. The raised elements, like Lincoln's profile and the date, should have a frosted texture contrasting against the mirrored background. This cameo effect is typical of proof coins. Third, the coin's edges and details should be sharp and crisp, unlike the wear seen on circulated pennies. Lastly, because these coins are so rare and valuable, professional grading and authentication are highly recommended before any purchase or sale. The 1990 no mint mark Lincoln proof penny has consistently commanded significant attention in the numismatic market. Over the past 2 decades, auction prices have climbed steadily, reflecting growing collector demand and scarcity. In pristine condition and top grades, this coin has fetched tens of thousands of dollars. Recent sales show that in 2025, prices for high-grade examples commonly fall between $6,000 and $10,000. Coins graded at PR68 or higher, especially those with deep cameo contrast, can exceed even these figures. Lower-grade specimens, while less valuable, still fetch prices well above face value, typically in the thousands of dollars. For perspective, common 1990 Lincoln cents from Philadelphia or Denver usually sell for a few cents or a couple of dollars uncirculated, while standard proof pennies with an S mint mark generally sell in the low hundreds depending on condition. This stark contrast highlights the premium collectors place on this mint mark error and the proof quality combined. Collectors prize the 1990 no mint mark proof penny not only for its rarity but also for the story it tells, a glimpse into the minting process and human oversight. It represents an intersection of error and artistry, capturing the imagination of numismatists who seek the extraordinary in the everyday. The coin's scarcity, combined with its immaculate proof finish, makes it a symbol of exclusivity and prestige within modern American coin collecting. It is often considered a crown jewel in Lincoln cent collections and a highlight in any modern proof set. For those fortunate enough to own or acquire a 1990 no mint mark proof penny, proper care is essential. Protecting the coin from scratches, environmental damage, and handling wear is paramount. Using protective holders or slabs from professional grading services is highly recommended. Professional grading not only confirms authenticity but also preserves the coin's condition, which is critical in maintaining or increasing its value over time. If you believe you have found this rare penny, seeking expert advice and grading should be your next step. The 1990 no mint mark Lincoln proof penny is more than just a coin, it is a rare chapter in the story of American minting. From its accidental creation to its status as a coveted collector's gem, this penny embodies the unexpected beauty found in numismatic errors. If you ever come across this coin, cherish it, have it authenticated, and consider yourself part of a select group who own a tangible piece of history. The 1992 D penny holds a unique place due to an intriguing combination of production history, subtle die variations, rarity, and, ultimately, its significant value in today's collector market. We will explore the origins and historical context of the 1992 D penny, analyze the varieties and key identifying features that distinguish the common from the rare, review its rarity and collectible appeal, examine how its value has evolved over time, and finally, provide an update on its current market worth in the year 2025. The Lincoln cent, first issued in 1909, is one of the longest-running coin series in the United States. By 1992, the Lincoln Memorial reverse design had been in use since 1959, commemorating the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The penny continued to serve as a symbol of American history and pride. The year 1992 marked a time when the penny was composed predominantly of zinc, plated with a thin copper layer, a change that had been implemented a decade earlier to reduce costs. The 1992 pennies were struck at 3 mints: Philadelphia, without a mint mark; Denver, marked with a D; and San Francisco, marked with an S for proof coins. The Denver Mint produced approximately 4.4 billion Lincoln cents in 1992, making it one of the most widely circulated and produced coins in history. Most 1992 pennies were ordinary circulation strikes, but hidden within this mass production run lies a fascinating story of die varieties and mint errors. The key to understanding the 1992 D penny's collectible allure lies in the details of the reverse side lettering, specifically, the spacing between the letters A and M in the word America. Numismatists categorize these coins into 2 main varieties, the wide AM and the close AM. The wide AM variety features the normal, standard spacing between the A and M in America. This is the common version seen in the vast majority of coins struck at Denver in 1992. The close AM variety, however, is a rarer and highly sought-after variant. It features the letters A and M much closer together, almost touching. This variation was caused by an accidental use of a reverse die initially intended for the 1993 coin, which featured this tighter lettering. The die was mistakenly employed in the final production runs of 1992 pennies at the Denver Mint, alongside the close AM characteristic. Another subtle but telling feature is the position of the designer's initials, FG for Frank Gasparo, which appear slightly shifted compared to the wide AM variety. These small yet significant differences mark the close AM 1992 D penny as a numismatic gem, transforming what looks like an ordinary 1-cent coin into a rare and valuable collectible. Although the total mintage for the 1992 D penny is in the billions, the close AM variety is estimated to be much scarcer. Experts believe that only a small percentage of the coins struck during the transition from 1992 to 1993 carry the close AM reverse die. Estimates place the rarity of close AM pennies somewhere in the range of hundreds of thousands to a few million, a tiny fraction compared to the wide AM billions. However, finding one in uncirculated or mint state condition, especially with full red or red-brown luster, is exceedingly rare. Most surviving coins in circulation have wear, scratches, and toning that diminish their value. This rarity and the keen interest of collectors have created a dynamic market for close AM pennies, with certified high-grade specimens commanding remarkable prices at auctions and private sales. Like all coins, the value of a 1992 D penny, whether wide AM or close AM, heavily depends on its condition or grade. Grading scales run from poor, worn examples found in circulation to pristine, mint state coins with original luster and no defects. For wide AM pennies, circulated examples generally hold only face value, 1 cent, since the mintage was so high and the variety is common. Even in uncirculated grades, these pennies rarely exceed a few dollars unless they display exceptional eye appeal or stunning original red color. Close AM pennies, by contrast, show a dramatically different value scale. Even in circulated condition, close AM pennies can be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars depending on the amount of wear. In mint state grades, the value escalates significantly. At lower mint states, such as MS60 or MS63, close AM pennies may be worth several $1,000s. When you reach higher grades like MS64 or MS65, especially with full original red luster, prices can soar to 5 or even 6 figures in exceptional cases. The market rewards those with well-preserved coins that exhibit sharp details, no signs of cleaning, and strong color. Since the early 2000s, awareness of the 1992 close AM variety has grown significantly among collectors, dealers, and auction houses. Initial discoveries and limited publicity kept prices modest, but as certification and professional grading services began highlighting this variety, the close AM penny became a coveted prize. Auctions over the past 2 decades have seen multiple headline sales for close AM pennies, with high-grade examples achieving tens of thousands of dollars. The excitement is fueled by the coin's affordability relative to other rare modern U.S. coins and the potential for discovering a valuable piece in circulation or in old collections, with more collectors focusing on varieties and error coins. The 1992 close AM penny stands as a shining example of how subtle minting differences can create real numismatic treasures. As of 2025, the market for 1992 Lincoln Memorial pennies, particularly the close AM variety, remains robust and active. The common wide AM 1992 penny, especially in circulated condition, remains largely a 1-cent coin. Uncirculated wide AM pennies may fetch between 10 cents to a few dollars depending on the grade and eye appeal, but nothing extraordinary. The close AM variety commands substantially higher prices. Circulated close AM pennies can range from hundreds to several $1,000s depending on condition and color. In uncirculated grades, close AM pennies typically sell for several $1,000s. MS63 red or red-brown examples generally fall within the $2,000 to $5,000 range. Higher grades, such as MS64 and MS65 red, can command prices from $6,000 to $15,000 or more. Exceptionally graded close AM pennies in MS66 red or better have been known to sell in the $15,000 to $25,000 range at auction. Rarely, coins graded MS67 or above, which combine rarity and pristine condition, have exceeded $30,000, though such examples are incredibly scarce. The market continues to mature, with professional grading companies certifying more close AM pennies, driving collector confidence and price stability. This variety has cemented itself as one of the most valuable and desirable modern Lincoln cents for both variety collectors and investors alike. For those interested in acquiring or identifying the 1992 close AM penny, there are several important guidelines. Careful examination. Use a magnifier or loupe to inspect the reverse lettering. The spacing between the A and M in America is the key identifier. Look for professional certification. Given the significant value and presence of counterfeit or misattributed coins, always seek coins graded by reputable third-party grading services. Condition matters. Even small amounts of wear or cleaning can dramatically reduce value. Seek coins with natural toning and original surfaces. Beware of overpaying. While demand is high, always compare recent sales and auction prices to avoid inflated offers. Consider long-term investment. The 1992 close AM penny's rarity and historical significance suggest it will remain a coveted collector's item for years to come. The 1992 Lincoln Memorial Penny exemplifies how a simple everyday coin can become a treasure through minor variations and minting anomalies. From billions minted to a rare die switch that created the close AM variety, this penny is a testament to the complexity and allure of coin collecting. Whether you're a seasoned collector, a casual enthusiast, or someone who just stumbled upon a 1992 penny, understanding its history, rarity, and value potential can be both fascinating and rewarding. The 1993 Lincoln penny belongs to the long-running Lincoln Memorial series, which began in 1959. This series was introduced to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth and features the familiar profile of Lincoln on the obverse side, based on the original design created by Victor David Brenner. The reverse side of the coin showcases the Lincoln Memorial, a design that remained consistent for 5 decades. In 1993, the United States Mint produced billions of these pennies, making it one of the most common coins in circulation. The coins were struck primarily at 2 facilities, Philadelphia, which issued coins without a mint mark, and Denver, which included the letter D as a mint mark. A smaller quantity of proof coins was also produced at the San Francisco Mint, marked with an S. Philadelphia's minting of the 1993 penny without a mint mark is important because it signifies where the coin was struck, and this distinction plays a role in the coin's collectability and value. The 1993 no mint mark penny from Philadelphia was produced in massive numbers, with over 5.5 billion coins minted. This enormous production run means that these pennies are extremely common in everyday circulation. Most people handle them regularly, and the majority of these coins retain little to no collector value beyond their face value. Despite this, the condition of the coin can dramatically affect its worth. While many circulated pennies show wear from everyday use, uncirculated coins with full original luster and sharp details are much rarer and more desirable among collectors. The key to determining the value of a 1993 no mint mark Lincoln penny lies largely in its condition and any special characteristics or errors it may possess. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to perfect mint state, with uncirculated coins graded between mint state 60 and mint state 70. The higher the grade, the closer the coin is to flawless condition, which increases its desirability and value significantly. For a coin as common as the 1993 penny, most circulated specimens are worth just their face value, which is 1 cent. However, uncirculated examples with original red luster, referred to by collectors as red or RD condition, can be worth several dollars. Coins graded MS63, mint state 63, in red condition might sell for around $4, while coins graded MS64 to MS66 can range between $8 and $24, depending on eye appeal and strike quality. The rare and nearly perfect specimens graded MS67 or above can command prices in the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Exceptional examples graded MS69, which are nearly flawless, have been known to sell for over $3,000, a testament to how condition transforms value for this otherwise common coin. One of the most sought-after varieties is the close AM variety. This refers to the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse side of the coin appearing unusually close together. This subtle variation is highly prized by collectors, especially in high-grade condition. Circulated examples of the close AM variety might be worth anywhere from $50 to $200, while uncirculated specimens in pristine condition can be valued well into the thousands. Another type of error that adds value is the off-center strike, where the coin is struck off-center to varying degrees. Pennies with an off-center strike of around 25 to 50% can be worth from $25 to several $100, depending on how much of the date and design are still visible. Double strikes or multiple strikes are also interesting errors, where the coin receives more than one impression during the minting process, creating a doubling effect on the design. Such coins can sell for amounts typically ranging from $25 upwards, with premium for more dramatic examples. An especially rare category includes mule errors or double denomination errors. These are coins struck on planchets intended for other denominations, such as a penny struck on a dime blank, or coins featuring mismatched obverse and reverse designs. These are extremely rare and highly prized by collectors, sometimes reaching values in the hundreds or thousands of dollars depending on the rarity and condition. As we reach 2025, the market for the 1993 no-mint mark Lincoln penny remains strong in certain segments, particularly among collectors focused on high-grade and error coins. Ordinary circulated pennies continue to hold their face value of 1 cent, but collectors seeking uncirculated red coins are willing to pay a premium. High-grade specimens graded MS-66 and above can attract serious interest, with prices ranging from several $100s to over $4,000 for nearly flawless MS-69 coins. Error varieties like the close AM and off-center strikes continue to command significant prices and are regarded as important additions to collections focusing on mint errors or Lincoln cent varieties. Professional grading services remain essential in verifying condition and authenticity, directly influencing the prices coins can achieve at auction or private sale. The 1993 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is a fascinating blend of everyday currency and collectible treasure. While billions were produced and most remain in circulation worth just 1 cent, there exists a spectrum of coins that can be worth hundreds or thousands depending on their condition and unique characteristics. So the next time you come across a 1993 penny, take a closer look. It might just be the start of an exciting collecting journey, or even a valuable find waiting to be discovered. The 1994 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin, specifically the version struck at the Philadelphia Mint, distinguished by its lack of a mint mark. While this penny may seem ordinary to many, it holds a unique place in numismatic circles due to its subtle varieties, rarity in certain grades, and surprising value on the current market in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just curious about the hidden treasures in your pocket change, this detailed deep dive will cover everything you need to know about the 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln cent, from its history and production to its rarity and worth in today's market. Let's start by setting the stage for this coin's origin. The Abraham Lincoln 1 cent has been a staple of American currency since its introduction in 1909. By 1994, the design featured the classic Lincoln portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design that had been in place since 1959. In 1994, the U.S. Mint produced Lincoln pennies at 3 facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint struck the majority of pennies that year and, notably, these coins carry no mint mark, which is a standard practice for Philadelphia at that time. The Denver Mint pennies bear a D mint mark, while the San Francisco Mint struck special proof pennies marked with an S. Approximately 6.5 billion pennies were struck at Philadelphia that year, making the no-mint mark variety by far the most common 1994 Lincoln cent. The Denver Mint produced roughly 7.1 billion coins, and the San Francisco Mint struck only about 3.27 million proof specimens. This was also a period when the composition of the penny had fully transitioned to its modern makeup, a core of mostly zinc, around 97.5%, coated with a thin layer of copper. This change, which took place in 1982, resulted in pennies that weigh 2.5 grams. The zinc core gives the penny a much lower intrinsic metal value than the pre-1982 copper pennies. Most 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies you come across today are common and generally worth their face value of 1 cent, especially those that have circulated in pocket change for decades. However, the story of value gets more interesting once you start looking at pennies in uncirculated or near mint condition. Coins that have escaped wear and tear and have maintained their original luster can command premiums from collectors. An uncirculated 1994 no-mint mark penny in mint state condition, especially those graded MS 63 and above, can be worth between 30 cents to $1. Moving higher up the grading scale, coins with bright red luster, known as red, or RD condition, and fewer marks may sell for several dollars. For example, MS 65 red coins can reach between $6 and $10 in value. At the very top end of the grading scale, near-perfect specimens graded MS 67 red can be valued between $25 and $50, while extremely well-preserved MS 68 red pennies can fetch over $100. These grades signify coins with minimal surface imperfections and strong original color, making them highly desirable to collectors. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1994 no-mint mark penny is the existence of a rare variety known as the qian. This variety involves a slight alteration on the reverse of the coin, specifically in the spacing between the letters A and M in the word America. On a typical 1994 Lincoln penny, these letters have a normal amount of space between them. However, the qian variety features these two letters almost touching, making it a subtle but distinct difference that collectors prize highly. This variety is not officially listed as an error by the U.S. Mint but is widely recognized and sought after by collectors. Because it is more difficult to identify without close inspection, many qian pennies have circulated or been overlooked, making high-grade examples quite rare. In uncirculated condition, qian pennies can command prices ranging from $1,000 to over $2,000, depending on their exact grade and color designation. High-grade examples graded MS 67 or better can reach even higher values, reflecting their scarcity and collector demand. One such error is the double die reverse, where doubling of the design elements, such as the Lincoln Memorial columns or lettering, can be seen on the reverse side of the coin. These coins are far less common and can fetch premiums of over $1,500 in high grades. Another interesting error is the struck on a clad dime planchet. These unusual coins occur when a penny design is accidentally struck on the metal planchet intended for a dime. These coins are smaller, silvery in appearance, and can bring prices up to $2,000 for well-preserved specimens. There are also unplated or missing copper cladding errors, where the copper layer is missing or incomplete, exposing the gray zinc core underneath. These silver-colored pennies are striking and attract collectors, with values typically ranging from $100 to $500 depending on condition. Additionally, common error types like off-center strikes, broad strikes, and double strikes exist, each with varying degrees of rarity and value. Some off-center strikes, where the coin's design is partially missing due to misalignment during striking, can be worth hundreds of dollars if the error is dramatic and the coin is in good condition. Moving into 2025, the market for 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies has shown steady growth, especially for rare and high-grade coins. Top-end specimens graded MS 68 red and above are attracting prices of up to $1,600, with truly exceptional MS 69 coins sometimes reaching over $13,000 at auction. The Denver Mint mark variety in similar grades also commands attention, with MS 69 red coins fetching thousands of dollars and MS 68 examples valued in the several $100 range. Proof examples from the San Francisco Mint, although limited in mintage, have more modest values, with perfect PR 70. Deep cameo specimens typically selling for around $30 to $40. If you're a collector or just a casual hobbyist, it's important to remember some key guidelines. Avoid cleaning your pennies, as this can significantly reduce their value. Use a magnifying glass or loupe to inspect your pennies closely for subtle varieties such as the qian. Pay attention to color and surface quality. Coins with original red luster typically hold the most value. Consider getting potentially valuable coins. Professionally graded by recognized third-party services, as certification can greatly enhance marketability and price. The 1994 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how even the most common coins can hide fascinating stories and value for those willing to look closely. While most 1994 pennies in circulation remain just pennies, the rare varieties and high-grade examples from this year offer collectors an exciting chance to find something truly special. The 1995 Lincoln cent, however, remains one of the most commonly encountered pennies in circulation, yet it holds secrets that can make it highly prized among collectors. The 1995 penny was produced at three main mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia mint coins, which are distinguished by having no mint mark, dominate the production numbers and are the primary focus of this discussion. In 1995, the Philadelphia Mint struck approximately 6.4 billion Lincoln cents without any mint mark. This colossal figure reflects the penny's extensive use and ubiquity. The production process involved modern techniques, using primarily zinc cores coated with a thin copper layer, a transition from the primarily copper pennies of earlier decades. While the vast majority of these pennies enter circulation as everyday change, a small fraction display minting errors or anomalies that make them significantly more valuable. Most notable among these is the double die obverse, or DDO. The double die obverse error is one of the most sought-after and recognizable mint errors in the world of coin collecting. It occurs during the coin's production when the hubbing process, where the design is impressed onto the coin's die, duplicates the design slightly misaligned, creating a doubled or shadowed effect on the coin's surface. For the 1995 Philadelphia Lincoln cent, this doubling is often clearly visible on key areas such as the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date itself. The doubling effect can range from subtle to very pronounced, depending on the coin, making each example unique. Interestingly, 1995 was the final year the U.S. Mint produced double dies on the Lincoln cent, as they transitioned to newer hubbing methods which drastically reduced the chance for this type of error. This fact adds a layer of historic significance to the 1995 DDO pennies. To identify a 1995 no-mint mark DDO penny, collectors typically use a 10x magnification loupe or magnifier. The doubling can be seen primarily on the word "Liberty," where each letter may appear doubled or shadowed on one side. The phrase "In God We Trust" often shows doubling on several letters. The date, 1995, where the numerals may have a clear shadow doubling effect. The coin's surface color also matters. Collectors prefer full red coins, meaning the original copper color remains vibrant and largely untinted. Pennies naturally tone over time to red-brown or brown shades, which can affect desirability and value. Beyond the double die obverse, the 1995 no-mint mark Lincoln cent occasionally appears with other striking errors, such as off-center strikes, coins where the planchet, metal blank, was not properly centered during striking, resulting in partial or incomplete designs. Values vary widely based on how off-center the strike is. Broad strikes, these occur when the coin expands beyond the normal size due to misalignment in the striking press, creating a stretched appearance. Planchet errors, extremely rare cases where the coin is struck on an incorrect metal blank or an improperly prepared planchet. Each of these errors adds a layer of rarity and collector appeal, though none approach the market demand or premium of the double die obverse variety. The value of any 1995 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, especially those with errors, hinges significantly on its condition and grading. Professional grading services assign grades based on the coin's surface quality, strike sharpness, luster, and eye appeal. Grades range from circulated, with wear and damage, to uncirculated, no wear, often with full luster. Mint state, MS, grades run from MS 60 to MS 70, with the highest grades commanding the most value. Lower grade circulated DDO pennies might be worth anywhere from $10 to $50, uncirculated coins with the DDO error graded MS65 or higher can command prices in the hundreds of dollars. The rarest and most flawless specimens graded MS67 and above, especially those with full red color, have been known to sell for thousands of dollars. As of 2025, the market for 1995 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies, especially those with the double die obverse, remains robust. These coins have attracted collectors for decades and continue to maintain strong demand. Circulated coins without errors are generally worth face value or slightly more, often collected for nostalgic reasons or as part of general Lincoln cent collections. DDO error coins in circulated condition have retail and auction values typically ranging from $15 to $50, depending on eye appeal and doubling prominence. Uncirculated and professionally graded DDO pennies, especially in the coveted full red condition, can reach prices between $1,000 and $5,000 or more. Auctions frequently see these coins exceeding expectations when the doubling is particularly bold and the coin has excellent luster. Other error types such as off-center or broad-strike pennies command a variable premium, generally ranging from $20 to several $100s depending on severity. For collectors or casual finders eager to identify valuable 1995 no-mint mark pennies, here are some best practices. Use a strong magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe at 10x magnification to examine the obverse inscriptions carefully. Look specifically at the "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the date. Examine the color of the coin. Full red coins typically hold more value than those heavily toned or brown. Check for other anomalies such as off-center strikes or unusual shapes. If you suspect you have a DDO or error coin, consider sending it to a reputable professional grading service to confirm authenticity and condition, which can greatly increase its market value. The 1995 no-mint mark Lincoln penny significance is twofold. It represents the tail end of a long era of double die errors on the Lincoln cent and showcases the transition to new minting technologies that virtually eliminated such mistakes. This coin serves as a bridge between traditional coin striking methods and modern minting precision. Collectors cherish this penny not only for its monetary potential but also for its role as a tangible artifact reflecting both American history and the evolution of minting craftsmanship. While the 1995 no-mint mark Lincoln penny may seem commonplace at first glance, its nuances offer collectors and enthusiasts a fascinating glimpse into minting history and error coin rarity. Whether you're casually sorting change or methodically hunting for error coins, understanding the double die obverse and other key features of this coin can transform an ordinary penny into a valuable treasure. If you happen to find one in exceptional condition, especially with the doubling clearly visible and strong red coloration, you might be holding a coin worth thousands. The 1995 no-mint mark Lincoln cent remains a testament to how even the most familiar objects can surprise us with hidden value. The 1997 Denver Mint Lincoln Memorial Penny. While billions of these pennies were produced, many collectors and enthusiasts might be surprised by the intriguing details, rare varieties, and notable values tied to this seemingly common 1-cent piece. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone curious about coins you might find in your change, this comprehensive guide will reveal the story behind the 1997 Lincoln cent's history, rarity, grading nuances, and market worth in 2025. To understand the 1997 Lincoln penny, we must first revisit its origins. The Lincoln cent was introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, becoming the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. The 1997 issue falls squarely in the Lincoln Memorial Series era, which began in 1959 and lasted until 2008. On the obverse, we see the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed originally by Victor David Brenner, an image that has endured with only minor modifications over more than a century. The reverse depicts the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., a design created by Frank Gasparo. This design choice reflected a reverence for Lincoln's legacy and the monument dedicated to him, giving this penny a classic and instantly recognizable appearance. The D Mint mark on this coin indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the primary mints responsible for producing the majority of circulating pennies in 1997. That year, the Denver Mint produced approximately 4.5 billion pennies, making it an extremely common date in terms of sheer quantity. The 1997 Lincoln penny belongs to the modern era of pennies composed primarily of zinc, with a thin copper plating. Since 1982, pennies have been made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. This shift in composition was driven by the rising cost of copper and the need to maintain affordable coin production. The coin weighs approximately 2.5 grams, with a diameter of 19.05 millimeters and a plain edge. Its copper plating provides the familiar reddish-brown appearance, although over time, exposure to air and handling often causes the surface to oxidize and turn brown or even darken to nearly black in some cases. Despite its common appearance, the 1997 D penny is interesting because of the massive numbers produced and the various quality levels in which these coins are found today. Most 1997 pennies were intended for everyday circulation, resulting in millions being handled, spent, and eventually worn down. However, a smaller portion was preserved by collectors and dealers in mint state condition. These uncirculated coins, those with no signs of wear, are typically obtained directly from mint rolls or special sets issued by the United States Mint. The presence of the Denver Mint mark distinguishes these coins from those minted in Philadelphia, which lack a mint mark, and San Francisco, which primarily produced proof coins. One of the most critical factors influencing a coin's value is its grade, or condition. Coin grading ranges from poor condition, where heavy wear obscures design details, to mint state or uncirculated condition, where a coin looks virtually flawless as it did when struck. Most 1997 D pennies in circulation show signs of wear, with smooth surfaces, flattened details, and dulled luster. These pennies typically hold only face value, around 1-cent coins preserved in mint state conditions, graded from MS-60 to MS-70, retain full design details and original luster. These coins often attract collectors and can command a premium. Red, red-brown, and brown color designations. The surface color further influences value. Red coins retain their original coppery sheen, which is highly prized. Over time, copper oxidizes, turning coins into red-brown or brown states, with values diminishing accordingly. Millions of these coins have been circulated and damaged, meaning that truly uncirculated examples in the best condition are relatively scarce. Even more elusive are coins graded MS-67 or above, which display extraordinary luster, sharp details, and original mint reds. Collectors prize these coins due to their scarcity and the difficulty of preserving such coins over nearly 3 decades. The rarity factor grows exponentially as grades increase, leading to significant price increases. Double die varieties, doubling on the date or mint mark, can create noticeable distortions and is sought after by collectors. Off-center strikes. Coins struck slightly off the planchet can display partial designs, making them unique collector pieces. Die cracks and clashes. These subtle mint errors involve cracks in the die or die clashes, leaving unusual marks on the coin. Strikes on wrong planchet. Extremely rare, but occasionally pennies have been found struck on planchets intended for other denominations, such as dimes. Any such error or variety is subject to authentication and grading, but when genuine, these coins can command prices far above standard specimens. Circulated coins. These typically remain worth 1 cent. With billions in existence, these coins are abundant and hold no significant collector value. Uncirculated coins. At MS-60 to MS-64, values generally range between 30 cents and $1. Higher mint state grades. coins graded MS-65 and above can command prices from a few dollars to several $100s, especially those with vibrant red color. Exceptional examples. The rare MS-68 red coins can reach values close to $1,000, often sold at auction to dedicated collectors. Eror coins. Depending on the rarity and severity of the error, values can range from $50 to several hundred or more. The market remains strong for high-grade Lincoln cents due to ongoing collector interest and the popularity of Lincoln coinage as a foundational series for beginners and advanced numismatists alike. Focus on color and condition. Seek out red coins in MS-65 or better grades for the best potential return. Examine for errors. Look closely at the date, mint mark, and design details to spot possible varieties. Use proper storage. Preserve coins in protective holders to maintain their condition and prevent damage. Authenticate high-value coins. For coins you believe may be rare or valuable, obtain professional grading and authentication services to maximize resale value. Beyond monetary value, the 1997 Lincoln penny represents an enduring piece of American history. It connects us to the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, the evolution of coinage, and the stories carried by everyday objects. For many collectors, the penny is the gateway into the rich world of numismatics, a small but significant artifact that reflects craftsmanship, economics, and cultural identity. While the 1997 Lincoln Memorial penny is a common coin by mintage, its value and appeal come alive when examining condition, color, rarity, and potential error varieties. High-grade examples continue to command healthy prices, and the market remains vibrant in 2025. Whether you find one in your pocket or seek out high-grade specimens for your collection, the 1997 penny offers more than its face value: a story, a challenge, and a piece of history. The 1998 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny, specifically the no-mint mark variety, often referred to as the Philadelphia strike. This coin is one of the most circulated pennies of the late 20th century, yet it holds a special place in the hearts of collectors, historians, and coin enthusiasts alike. Today, we will delve into the fascinating history behind this coin, examine the factors that influence its rarity, analyze the key errors and varieties that can make it a prized collectible, and finally, break down its current market value as of 2025. The Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is one of the most recognizable and enduring coins in American numismatics. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it marked a major departure from the traditional designs of earlier U.S. cents. The obverse featured the profile of Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, and was the first American coin to depict a president. By 1998, the Lincoln cent was firmly established with the Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse, a design that had been in place since 1959. This design was created by Frank Gasparo and features the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., with the statue of Lincoln visible within the monument. The 1998 penny was minted as part of this series, continuing a tradition that would last until 2008, when the mint transitioned to the Lincoln Bicentennial and Union Shield designs. The 1998 penny was produced in massive quantities, with the Philadelphia Mint alone striking over 5 billion coins. Unlike the Denver and San Francisco mints, which use a D or S mint mark respectively, pennies from the Philadelphia Mint typically carry no mint mark. This absence of a mint mark is crucial in identifying the 1998 no mint mark penny. In 1998, the Philadelphia Mint struck approximately 5,032,200,000 Lincoln cents. This vast production makes the 1998 no mint mark penny one of the most common coins in circulation. The Denver Mint also produced a large quantity, close to 5.2 billion pennies, and San Francisco produced around 2 million proof coins with the S mint mark. The coins were struck on copper-plated zinc planchets, a composition that began in 1982 when the U.S. Mint switched from the traditional 95% copper composition to reduce costs. This change resulted in pennies weighing approximately 2.5 grams, compared to the previous heavier all-copper pennies. Due to the overwhelming number of coins produced, the 1998 no-mint mark penny is typically considered a common date with low collector demand in standard circulated condition. When it comes to value, most 1998 no-mint mark pennies found in everyday circulation are worth face value, 1 cent. The reason is simple: there are so many of these coins available that supply far exceeds demand. However, for collectors and investors, condition plays a significant role in value. Circulated examples usually remain at or near face value. Uncirculated coins, which have never been used in commerce and retain their original mint luster, can be worth slightly more. In 2025, typical uncirculated examples graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC range in value from 10 to 30 cents. High-grade coins graded as mint state 65 or better, with exceptional red color and luster, are considerably rarer. These coins can command prices ranging from $50 to several $100s, depending on the overall quality. The most exceptional examples, graded MS-68 or MS-69, have sold at auction for thousands of dollars. A particularly famous sale saw a PCGS MS-69 RD 1998 no-mint mark penny sell for several $1,000s, highlighting the potential value for top-tier specimens. Beyond standard coins, error and variety collectors seek out specific unusual features on the 1998 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. These errors can dramatically increase a coin's value, turning a common penny into a rare collectible. One of the most well-known error varieties for this date is the wide AM error. This occurs when the A and M in the word America on the reverse of the coin appear spaced wider than normal. This happens due to the use of a proof reverse die in the production of business strike coins. The wide AM variety is subtle and requires close inspection or magnification to identify, but it is highly sought after by collectors. In circulated condition, these coins can bring prices of around $10, while uncirculated examples may command up to $25 or more. High-grade wide AM coins graded MS-67 RD have even sold for nearly $1,000 at auction. Another collectible error is the double die variety. Although less prominent than earlier Lincoln cents, some 1998 pennies display doubling on the obverse or reverse design elements, such as letters or numbers. Minor doubling can increase the coin's value to anywhere between $20 and $50, depending on visibility and condition. Off-center strikes are another type of error that can add value. These occur when the coin is struck outside the center of the planchet, resulting in an incomplete or shifted design. The value depends heavily on the degree of off-centering. Minor off-center strikes, with a misalignment of around 5 to 10%, typically sell for $7 to $15. More dramatic off-center strikes, exceeding 50%, can be worth $50 to $100 or more. The BIE die crack error is a unique variety often seen on Lincoln cents, including the 1998 no-mint mark. This occurs when a die crack appears between the letters B and E in the word liberty, giving the illusion of the word liberty. While not particularly rare, this error is notable and can increase the coin's value to $10 to $15 in most conditions. Other common errors include die deterioration doubling, which is caused by a worn die producing a slightly doubled image. This is generally less valuable, usually adding just a few cents to the coin's worth. Despite the enormous mintage, the 1998 no-mint mark Lincoln cent does have a place in collectors' portfolios, especially for those who specialize in modern Lincoln cents or error coins. The rarity of any coin is determined by a combination of survival rate, condition, and collector demand. While billions were minted, most have been circulated heavily, meaning coins in pristine condition are harder to find and thus more valuable. In 2025, the market continues to recognize the potential of high-grade and error 1998 pennies. Circulated coins remain common and low value. Uncirculated examples in MS-60 to MS-65 grades command modest premiums. High-grade MS-67 to MS-69 coins attract serious collectors and can achieve impressive prices, sometimes reaching into the thousands of dollars. Error coins such as wide AM and off-center strikes have a consistent collector base, with values generally increasing over time as more casual holders discard these coins in circulation unaware of their worth. First, always examine the coin's condition, luster, color, and the absence of scratches or wear dramatically affect value. Coins with original red coloration, known as RD in grading terms, are more desirable than those with brown or red-brown tones. Second, use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to check for error varieties such as wide AM spacing or double dies. Familiarize yourself with what normal spacing looks like so you can spot anomalies. Third, consider professional grading for coins you believe to be of high grade or displaying errors. Grading services provide authentication and an unbiased assessment of condition, which can significantly increase resale value. Lastly, understand that coin markets fluctuate. While some coins appreciate steadily, others may plateau or decline based on economic factors, collector interest, and discoveries of new varieties. The 1998 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is much more than just a coin you might find in your pocket change. It is a piece of American history, a product of massive industrial production, and a potential treasure trove for collectors who know where to look. Whether you own a handful of these pennies or just one, learning about their history, varieties, and market value can transform your perspective on everyday coins. If you discover an error or a coin in exceptional condition, it could be worth considerably more than face value. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the 1998 Lincoln penny. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share your experiences in the comments below. We look forward to bringing you more fascinating numismatic stories and insights soon.